What's up guys? Welcome to the Bafira YouTube channel, and today's episode we're going to get straight into it. I am so keen to get this Lamborghini on wheels and the suspension sorted out, thanks to our awesome sponsors at Titan Suspension Australia for coming on board and supplying us with these awesome custom coilovers for this build. But today we finally have a revised jig because we made a boo-boo. We were 22 mil out. Now, doesn't sound like a lot, but the wheel was 22 mil too far in the front fender, so we can't have that. So we've got to knock up some new ones. Now, I did design this prior to actually having this bodywork, and we got given the fiberglass bodywork from our new friend Graham. He loaned us this full kit, front kit, for the Lamborghini for us to make molds off, make all our own carbon fiber body kit. So huge thanks to Graham. Again, I've thanked him in all the other videos, but I'm always going to thank you because that is just insane. Like I would have had to build and fabricate the bodywork, and that would have just added like 6 months to this build. So yeah, can't thank Graham enough because he's going to get us finished and on track sooner than we ever would have. So anyway, this is going to be a big episode, this one. We've got 2 new jigs revised. We got to mount our heim joints, bolt these on here. Then we've got to put together this uni-ball joint, bolt this on here. Then we can start bending and fabricating our new wishbones. And yeah, I'm just really excited to get this thing on wheels. We've got our brakes, we've got our everything here. We just got to hook in now. We know where the wheels got to go, get it done, get it on wheels. Then we are back to the composite series. And I also want to thank Brody and Alana from KB Design, Construction and Back Concrete Pumping, because you guys are awesome. They are sponsoring the whole carbon fiber series as well. So huge thanks to them. Enough talking, let's get into it. In the last video, if you haven't seen it, we got our inner door shell on. We are still yet to tidy it up a little bit, but we have a swinging door on the Lambo, so that's pretty cool. I do have to get a couple of things. I've got to source epoxy, 2-part epoxy, what is it, acrylic? Anyway, it's once I bond these 2 skins together, it's to join them and make it sandable. So you know, I can build it up a little bit, and we can get our gaps. We've got something that we can actually sand down. So it's sort of like acting a bit like a filler, a body filler, because it's carbon fiber, and I don't want to put body filler on this car. So that's what I want to do. Put a nice thick join around it, tape it up, join it, and yeah, we'll get to that eventually. But for now, we have this 6 mil plate. I know it's 6 mil, it's for a jig, doesn't have to be, but that's the only bit of plate that we have at the moment, and I got it for free. So we're going to cut our new wishbone jigs out that we fixed. Well, I think I fixed because we were 20 mil out, so these are no good. That's why I didn't do both sides. So, you know, that would suck if we did 2 spindles, wishbones, everything. So, yeah, that's why we did one side on this. So what we're going to do is cut out the new ones, and I think I still have some uni-ball joints and some heim joints left, I'm pretty sure. So there should be, oh yep, I've got a big bag of heims, and I don't know what I got in here. I don't know what that is. Wheel bearings. Oh, yep. We got some uni balls. This is the closest thing to gardening I'll get. Now, I should be doing this more often, and that is doing demos on small pieces where you've got a part that is very close to being the size of what you got, because I'm just checking to make sure that we don't go outside our piece, so I can just adjust it so we don't have any stuff ups, because this is the only plate we've got to make the jigs, unless I go and get some more. So that's how impatient I am. So anyway, so far so good. Looks like we are in a good spot, but I'll just make sure I run through the whole thing. Make sure we're going to be able to get it the first time. Alright guys, I quickly just want to show you the door because it's glued together. Hopefully we don't have to get back in there, but we'd have to chop it up. But check it out. I know you've seen little bits of it, but it's on hinges, everything's done inside, it's braced inside, it's glued, everything's got Loctite on it, things like that. The body lines, like I've said, aren't good yet, but we can do all that better later. But it's pretty close for a mold on carbon fiber. Yeah, it's going to be really sweet. But yeah, check this out. Latch open. Close. I didn't click that time. There you go, got the effect there, bang. And then, yeah, just quick release, pops off. I mean, I can lift that with one hand. I can even put this on one-handed, just like that. That's how easy that door is to come off and on and latch. Like, I mean, that's that's race car right there. That's just so cool. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd have a freaking Lamborghini in the shed, let alone building carbon fiber doors and bodywork. Like, this is just, it's a dream, eh? But you know, it just goes to show, you know, and I hope I can inspire a lot of views to you know, do things. And yeah, I mean, anything's possible really with a lot of hard work, and you just gotta kick every day's ass, really. So and that's the only reason why I can sort of do this, is just that determination really, and that mindset of I want it and I'm gonna get it. So you know what, someone in the comments said, and I didn't really realize or feel, you know, because I'm sort of that busy, you sort of get a bit used to what you're doing here. Like, I'm just a normal guy like most of yous, you know, don't have a lot of money and stuff. We're just you know, just a lot of skills and stuff, and still learning skills to do this. But someone said you've hand built your own Lamborghini door, and that comment sort of hit me because you don't really realize what you're doing. I know it might not make sense, but you just get so tied up and so busy doing it, you don't really have time to stop and actually realize what you're doing. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. But a little bit deep there, I just, you know, but it's a crazy feeling. It's so cool. Everything just works well, it swings well. So yeah, anyway, let's get back to building some suspension. Alright, so last night we ended up putting the wheel on and stuff like that. So finished putting the wishbone on. Now we're getting a little bit technical here. Again, I'm probably not going to film all this because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sort of throwing the laser on there and trying to get like where that's sitting now, that coilover. I put the wheel on and we went through the motions, and that is so tight, the tolerances from the tire. Obviously this tire is too big for that rim, as you can see. So what I did was touch the coilover with the tire, which then gave us, like when we turned the wheel, it was touching the coilover here, but we're not going to be running such a big tire. This is like a 9.5 inch rim with like a 10 inch bloody tire on it. So it's too big. So anyway, that's where I'm going to have our coilover, set up our laser, and now I'm just going to be doing some measurements and getting some degrees. Like this is our ride height here. I did wind the coilover right up so it was as low as possible, because this was a little bit up in the fender, so we can wind this coilover down a little bit to get our ride height once it's compressed. So that's what I thought I'd do. The best way I thought was wind the coilover as if it was as low as possible, with the wheel up as high as possible, so then when it compresses we can then wind that out, and yeah, that should be sweet. Alright guys, I'm going to let that cool down. I'm going to take a photo of the drawing I drew on the Lambo chassis, and then I'm going to jump on the computer and we're going to try and design a mount that goes in between these two bars down in the shock. The coilover is going to go between there and then bolt down underneath. So pretty tricky to try and get it right, but we're just going to tack some shit and make sure we don't fully weld it, because we may have to do this a couple of times. But once we get one side done, we got the drawings, the dimensions of this, we just flip it all over. Alright, so we obviously just drew up our bracket. I think we got it right, but we're going to cut one out, or two, sorry, and tack them on there and just see how it looks, and yeah, bolt it up and then put the laser back on and see if it is exactly where we had it. So fingers crossed. I think I'm going to lose a little bit of height there because of the bends. I've got to put a couple of bends, so we're going to lose probably like maybe 5 millimeters or something. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Alright guys, I just learnt something today, and that is not to weld up wishbones while they're not mounted to the jig. And you know, I was about to do that and I was like, nah, won't have to do that. Yep, should have. So I have to cut one of these tubes off, heat it up and stretch it back out because yeah, she don't line up now. I've had to take one of the spaces out, so it's moved like, you know, 3-4 mil. It's shrunk. So once I tacked here, lucky I just welded the top, so I'll cut them off. I'll expand it, bolt it back to the wishbone jig, and then I think we'll have to make a new pipe here. This is how much tolerance we have between these braces for the coilover, so we just packed them out a few mil. I do have this. This is the type of shock mount, the 6 mil. Put some slits to put some bends because it's going to hit here and then it can bend back. This is wrong. I didn't get it right with all my calculations. Thought I would have, but there's just so many angles. Yeah, it's just pretty tricky stuff. And but anyway, I'm going to put this in here, so one will be on each side. And you'll see how it touches the shock there. So what we want to do is space it out like 5 mil off, which will be perfect there. And then I've got them cuts to like bend down, and then there'll be no gap between that because there is now. So it'll bend down into it, so then that coilover can go down perfect. So it'll just be real tight tolerances, and we'll tack it, and then we'll yeah, we'll try and, I honestly can't see it because this is about 7-degree angle. That's about a 7-degree angle. I think a lot, but I think that we won't hit these bars, and we're not going to have that much travel. I mean, this car's probably going to have 35-40 mil travel of suspension, so yeah, it's real tight. Really tight tolerances, but it's going to be really cool. I'm happy I went this way with designing it. I was going to do like a plate and then like concave sort of deal, but this is going to be really strong because it's so tight, and it will do the job, and it'll be super strong. Just come to our local speedway. About an hour away. Dad's into a good old hot dog. Back in the shed. So this has taken me 3 attempts to get this. I'm not sure if I already said this. 3 attempts to get this bracket. So I got these here, just the basic ones to work, and they fit really good. Cut 2 exactly the same, and yeah. So anyway, 2 exactly the same. I was happy with it on the car. I don't know if I showed you, but we'll have a look soon. But then I thought I'll take some weight out and do a cool little design. So actually we'll go have a look. So yeah, cut some holes. These lines are for where to bend, and then they'll be welded up. These are 6 mil steel. So that will go like that. And the reason why it's got to have a bend is to clear the actual coilover to then reach where the bolt is, otherwise it's going to rub. So we need a, you know, 3 mil on there. We can just pack that out. like so. We'll use our eagle eye, and yeah, that'll bend down and over to that eye there. That looks proper race car, if I don't say so myself. But yeah, just I cut out 4, so it'll speed up the other side, because this is exactly what I want. So there's another 2 there, and I'll prep them for when we do the other side. Alright guys, so we are ready to tack this on. So just getting the welder all the way over here, getting set up, gonna do some cleaning, some acetone, and yeah. And while she's all bolted up here, I will try and finish off some of these welds that I can, because pretty much that's a jig. They're bolted up, that's more accurate than the jig. And yeah, that is pretty much one spindle double wishbone coilover done. Now, not fully finished, because I will have to fully weld up underneath and all that, and also make sure I'm happy with the chassis mounts that I've done. I still would like to close this in, and I'd really like to maybe try and brace that as well, just little things, and also finish welding in and around them brackets while it's on there. So not fully complete, but it'll be functionable for now, and then make sure we're happy, then we can start the other side. Wow. And then shit, the front will be done. We do have to double check the rear, because if we're out on the front, we may be out on the rear. But it looks center of that wheel arch, so it's nice pretty wheel. I mean, that looks pretty good. I mean, I just don't know, maybe it was meant to go back a little bit. It's just, I won't really know until I finish off the back here. So I don't know if I should make mounts for that just yet, unless I don't know, undecided. But the front's definitely spot on now. We've put it in the fender and stuff, so it's looking really good. Coilover is holding the spindle and the wishbones all itself. Ready? Yes! Woo! Alright guys, I'm pretty happy now. We got this wheel on, and this is the 18-inch, so it is full lock, touching the bottom wishbone, and it's just off that wishbone there. That's at full lock, and that doesn't look like full lock, but this is a 18, so we got another half an inch. It definitely can turn well that way, overturns that way, and we got our coilover in the right position. I mean, that tire is hitting down in there in the well, but look how close that tire is there. Like, that's insane how close that tire is from hitting the chassis. So that's crazy. So we'll definitely have to figure out our tire choice as well. We wouldn't want to go much bigger than that, because yeah, I mean, once that suspension goes up, it's going to go on a slight angle, so it does look like the chassis does as well, so it might stay like that, but that is so close, it's insane. But all in all, I'm pretty happy. I couldn't get this any tighter. I couldn't get that bend any tighter because of this big heim joint here. By the time we made our mount and we come out, if that had have been closer in, we would have been able to have more room. But also, worst come to worst, I can change the spindle, and because I changed Lamborghini's roll center from what I gathered, and the images and that and the spindles that I sort of found on Google, I sort of looked at them deeply and sort of scaled them to figure out the distance from the center to the top wishbone and the center to the bottom wishbone. And I did pull down the bottom wishbone, and I also pulled up the top to get the roll center the same or as close to the rear, so they weren't fighting against each other. So there's a little bit in that, but that's why it's so close down here. That's why it's nearly touching. But I've worked off this 18-inch wheel because we are running 19, so even though it's real tight with this and like a little bit too tight, but with a bigger wheel on there, it should, the tolerances and everything should be pretty damn close. So yeah, makes me a little bit nervous, but I keep forgetting that it is the 18-inch and it'll be better with the 19-inch rim. And we definitely can't run 18s because the calipers won't fit, then they just won't fit, so big brakes. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and doing this. I really enjoy how technical this is and the challenges, and yeah, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it, and yeah, hopefully in the next few weeks or the next few episodes, this thing should be holding its own weight. And that's just crazy. It's been 5 months since the car landed here, and in that 5 months there's just been so much learning and designing and measuring and all the maths, and yeah, very sore head. Very sore. So but yeah, I just keep pushing through because the results are just so worth it. So yeah, I'm loving this, and this is just a massive dream of mine, and yeah, I can't believe I'm doing it. So I appreciate all of you, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.